Eliza?
Should another woman fall overpoweringly in love with me, what would you do?
Don't be so silly, Ernest.
It is true that my principles are strict in these matters. I might also lay claim to a strong will. Stronger than many men's. At the office, I'm supposed to have a remarkable control over my temper.
Try telling that to Parker.
Look, if you mean that imbroglio over the sprouts, there are times when a man must speak out, if he calls himself a man at all. I'm only human. I've never pretended to be more than that. Therefore, it is quite possible that I might form a mad and overpowering passion for another woman.
You might, Ernest, but then again you might not.
If only she knew. A lady of such beauty and manners, most polite and well-spoken. She's been there before, standing on the platform. The station master, a Mr. Parnaby, recognized her too. He referred to her as a lady of the night. I pointed out to Mr. Parnaby that, by contrast, I was a gentleman of the day. 8:30 till 5:30 sharp, to be precise. It's not every afternoon that one is approached by such a charming lady. That twitch around her mouth. When she inquired whether I had the time, I knew immediately that she found me attractive. That Eliza cannot see it is a sad comment on her finer sensibilities. Of course, I took the lady's approach no further, the 5:43 having just arrived. I spoke to a very beautiful young lady today. Actually, Eliza, I think she found me rather exciting. That women cannot fail to notice me is beyond my control. I remember when Eliza first fell under my spell. She was little more than a blank sheet of paper on which a certain author had yet to write. Within months of our meeting, I could tell Eliza was irresistibly drawn. In those early days with me, she recognized the opportunity to escape from a world of, well, limited horizons. Where would Eliza be now if she still resided with her mother, Mrs. Murray Rust? You see, she had so much to learn, and I had so much to offer. I know Eliza still appreciates all that I have taught her since. Eliza, do you suppose we are balanced in the scale of our affections? Or do you think there's a chance that you're more devoted to me than I am to you?
What's 13 from 28? Right. £1.15 and 2. I hope you know where we're going to get this sort of money from. What is it now?
Do you think that I am more devoted to you than you are to me? Or would you say that we were both as devoted of the other as both are of which? Look, I'll put it to you more simply. Are you fonder than I, Eliza?
Fonder of what?
Fonder of me.
Well, fonder of you than who?
The thing was perfectly simple until you muddled it up. Listen, and you'll understand.
What on earth are you talking about?
I asked you which of us you thought was fonder of the other, and you just weren't listening.
I was listening, Ernest. I know what you said. You said if either of us were fond of the both and each was of the either, which of the two would it be, or something like that?
Nonsense. I come home from a hard day's work. Despite indigestion, I try and start an interesting conversation on the subject of women and of love. And what is my reward? A string of indifference. I'm damned if I'm not to be paid due respect in my own household.
And I'm not going to stay here to be sworn at.
You're mistaken, Eliza. I never said that you were damned.
I know what you said,
I said that I
Ernest.
was. Kindly permit me to explain. I must ask you to control your temper. I wish to make my position perfectly clear. Logic always was a weak point with Eliza. I never yet knew a woman who could argue, or even understand the first step in an argument. I'm sure I never shall. Eliza! Eliza fails to understand me at every turn. Difficult, of course, for her to appreciate a man of such complexity and depth. Eliza? When Eliza did eventually allow me upstairs, I apologized. On reflection, perhaps it was a mistake to mention that lady of the evening, who I met at the station. Eliza seemed to think rather ill of her, but as I explained to her, that women cannot fail to notice me is beyond my control. Eliza. But then, women are so variable. Eliza.